Hi, it's Danny from Danny's Sports Bar here in Pattaya, looking ahead at the week in the world of sports. It's a European week in world football. That means Champions League, Europa Conference League. It's match day 6 out of 8 in the Champions League. It's the last games of 2025. When they get going again, they'll have 2 games remaining in the league stage. Those will be in mid to late January. So teams looking to set themselves up, try to get into the top 8, which means you avoid the playoff round, or the next 16, which means you're in the playoff round, but you're still at least in the tournament, avoiding those final 8 spots that are the knockout spots in the league stage. Biggest game in terms of names of teams, Wednesday night is Real Madrid against Manchester City, but there's some other matchups that matter all the way along, and pretty much any matchup matters to the teams involved because of trying to get into the top 8 or the next 16. Same thing goes on Thursday for the Europa League, Europa Conference League, although there are some more Europa Conference League games the following week still to go into 2025. Otherwise, that's it for 2025 for the European games. This weekend, European football, regular schedule, Premier League, Bundesliga, Serie A. I'll focus on a couple of games. In the Premier League, we'll look at Sunderland against Newcastle. That's on Sunday night at 9 o'clock. For anybody from the northeast of England, that is a huge game, the Tyne-Wear Derby. And what makes it maybe even a little bigger this year is this Sunderland got promoted to the Premier League this year. They've been out of the league for 8 years. And what that meant was we didn't have a regular 2 games a year, Sunderland, Newcastle, Newcastle, Sunderland. Now we have it this year. They've been waiting for this for a long time, since 2016, the last time these 2 teams met in the league. And there's certainly, it's all the emotions and hatreds and everything else that go along with all the big derbies. And for them, it is certainly a big deal. Same thing in Holland, not in terms of not having met, but in terms of emotions and hatreds. Ajax and Feyenoord, they play at 8:30 on Sunday night. Now, that game, unfortunately, the last few years, they don't allow any away fans to go to the game in either one, either when it's in Amsterdam, as it will be this Sunday, or when it's in Feyenoord in Rotterdam, which it doesn't matter. There's always the threat of crowd trouble, and they don't allow away fans, which is too bad, but there's still a lot of emotion in that game. Also, Sunday night, the first silverware in Scotland for the year, the League Cup final, they call it the Premier Sports Cup now. Celtic, which as they and Rangers obviously have dominated in Scotland, they play St. Mirren, which has only won this cup one time in their history. They play at Hampton Sunday at 10:30 in the League Cup final. Chance for obviously either of those teams to win the first silverware in Scotland this year. Speaking of silverware, there's the World Championship in World Darts. Now, darts is not something that we normally show all that often at Danny's, but we sure show it this time of year because it's the World Championship at the Royal Alexandra Palace in London, the Ali Pali as it's known. And people who don't watch darts the rest of the year will watch this tournament. It gets going late night Thursday, the first round, but starting on Friday night, there'll be matches starting at 7:30, the afternoon matches in England. So it'll be going through the evening, and it goes basically right through to the start of the year. There's a couple of days right at the end of the year where they don't play, and they come back for the semifinals and the final. Luke Littler, who's amazingly, he's just still only 18 years old. 2 years ago, he burst onto the scene. He won the tournament last year, and he's won a lot of the tournaments leading up to this year. He is the favorite going in, although obviously a lot of other big names. Every big name in darts is going to be in the tournament. And one thing about the World Championships, first of all, the crowd is incredible to watch, and Sky Sports does a great job of showing the crowd. It's maybe not what you would imagine if you've never watched darts. They really get into it. And the other thing is there's always stories that emerge. 2 years ago it was Littler who emerged, but there's always stories over the course of this tournament, and that starts this Thursday night. So we have quite a few things going on. Army-Navy game in college football is Saturday night, 3 a.m. We won't be able to show the whole game, but we will show the start of it, and also right before the game, the cadets and the midshipmen marching onto the field. So much tradition in that game, so big for anybody who went to West Point or Annapolis, or even people who were in the Army or the Navy. You'll hear all week, beat Army or beat Navy, depending on who you're talking to. And that game is Saturday night. So plenty going on. Come see us here at Dannings.